peace be upon you. Welcome to another episode of Sisters Halal Talk. So today I'm going to be discussing with someone special and interesting and fun. She's into tech, she likes to talk, and she does a lot of things to support girls and women. So we're going to be talking about building our self-confidence with me as Khadija Ladan.
Hey,
So,
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Khadija, now you seem like an individual, or you are already an individual whom you found yourself somehow, even though we keep traveling through life. So you found yourself doing the things that you do as a Muslim lady, as a northern lady. So how did we get here?
Oh, okay. So I think as a child, it started with the fact that as a child, I was just interested in how a lot of things worked. So it's like I was the type of child that you would hide your phone away from. So I would pick it up and I'd go through. I was more interested in going through every single application that was in a phone than actually doing like maybe playing games or taking pictures. So I got interested in that, and I was lucky enough to have parents that supported me, and then I just picked up a path through that. My dad was a very, very, very like supporting character, so he kind of just led me through the path I was supposed to take to the main to like get to. So I studied computer engineering, and then by the time I got there, I realized I wasn't too into hardware. I think that was the only thing that I might have regretted, because I wished I had just done computer science and forgot about the hardware, like added information, so like you have more knowledge. And then so after that, I had like classmates that helped me through learning coding, programming, and like stuffs around that. And then eventually it just picked up. I got my first job and just on great.
Okay, mashallah. So now the tech thing that you do, are there things that really challenge you?
Yes. I think mostly when it comes to tech, it tests a lot of your patience, and like it's something that is fun to do as a hobby, but it requires a lot of patience as like a career. Meaning, it's like if you're doing something as a hobby, once you get tired, you just drop it for a bit and then come back to it. But if you're doing something as a career, you have a deadline. Like you have to be able to think of that logic before the deadline.
Which one is it?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of both, but right now I'm more focused on the career part. So like I'm more doing tech as a career, which it's actually quite interesting because it's something that helps you. It's something that it's comfortable to do as long as you have like the basics down. So it's something you can always like figure your way around, which I actually enjoy. So I enjoy it, and I think for me mostly is the thrill of knowing that I figured something out. So I enjoy solving puzzles. So whenever I have like a point where I like have a little problem and then I eventually solve it, it's like something that gives me great joy. So the thrill is something like I enjoy, which is why I still do it.
Okay, like talking about girls, that building girls, the self-confidence in girls and all of that. Like you had a background, a great one, support from parents and all of that to be able to do the things you want to do. Now, what do you think girls need to be able to build themselves up?
I think what girls really need most of the time is a voice. So you should be able to have that person, or like a person that helps you bring out whatever worries or whatever like problems you have. So we need that voice to be able to just bring out your like thoughts and like your values. So someone can be very good at what they're doing, but they don't have that voice or like that confidence to step up and be like, this is what I want to do. This is like what I do. These are my skills, which is why most of the time they're like interviews. Like mostly when people fail in interviews, mostly not because of skill. There's always like
you
a
can't
skill.
sell yourself.
Yeah, there's always like a skill test already done. And then you go for the interview. I've actually failed an interview because of lack of confidence. So I was perfect in the skill set down to, it was left between like the two of us. And the other person got it because the other person was more outspoken than I was. I took it in good faith, alhamdulillah. At least the only thing was, I was like, alhamdulillah, I got to this point, which means I know I have the skills. I just know now what to work on.
Now, talking about that voice you said a girl should have, if, what in the sense that, is there no a path that leads you to a voice? I feel education actually gives you a certain leverage.
Oh yes, it does. It does, because I feel a lot of times when you're like in an environment, be it a place where like, be it like the Western education we're all like used to, or like the Islamic educations where like maybe you go to Islamic schools, it's an avenue where you're with people. And the fact that you're with people, you would communicate. You would like answer questions, you would ask questions, you would have people that are your friends that tend to ask questions. And then you would also have people that would tend to ask you questions. So you're forced to be outspoken. You'll not be outspoken in the sense that maybe you'll be so loud, but outspoken enough for you to be able to put your point across.
Okay, what about those people that don't have that opportunity? Like, for instance, I feel those whom are educated, like, there's a leverage and a privilege to being in a city.
Yeah.
There's a leverage and privilege being in certain environment, having certain opportunities like education, good healthcare, and all of those stuff. So now for someone that lives in an urban environment and has no access to education, what do you think will lead them to such paths?
Okay, I think this is now where we as if we call it that, the privileged ones are able to get this, that's where we come in. Because generally, as we all know, like Islam is about helping others. So like the fact that you are advised to help others means that from the beginning, not all of us are on equal footings.
Yeah,
do you understand?
of course.
So that means you're supposed to help others, which is why they'll tell you even a smile helps. So if you meet someone that is shy and not so confident in himself, the fact that you actually settle down, no matter how fast-paced you are, you settle down, you talk to the person like, hi, you can talk to me slowly, like you kind of bring yourself back down to how the person is. It's something that would actually give that person a little bit, no matter how tiny, like things build up with time. So no matter how tiny, you've contributed to the fact where the person now knows that not everyone is too fast-paced for me. There are actually people that will slow down and listen to me. So that adds a tiny bit of confidence. You'll find another person that does the same thing. It adds a tiny bit of confidence. So as those things build up, it eventually just becomes someone that has moved, moved on from the way they were before, and like have a little bit of improvement, which they can now go in as people with an experience that would now meet other people that were like them before, and then just hopefully we get to that extent.
Okay, as Muslims, as Muslim women, Muslim girls, what are the things you do personally in contributing to tech for girls, educating the girl child? Because really, that's something that we who are privileged and who have access to certain things, that's an aspect of life of being a Nigerian, a Muslim, in Northern, that I think each one of us should have a way to give back. So in your own way, what are the things that you do with Girl Code?
So mostly I belong to like two female-oriented communities. The first one is not mainly like it's not like deeply religious. It's just mainstream like this. Okay. But there is like a group, the community I belong to, that's Techie Muslima. So it's like a friend of mine that is like in University of Lagos. She kind of organized it. It's a little bit still upcoming, but like there's really great hope in it. Because so most of the times we have certain discussions around maybe like situations for people that like go to the office, situations with you being a Muslim and working with the opposite gender at the office. It's actually a major thing, because if you do not have people that understand, or if you do not try to make them explain that this is,
I'm sure you've been in rooms You've been in rooms where probably you're the only one on scarf, right?
Yes. Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I've been in rooms when I've been the only girl. So like there's like a whole lot of that. But like, you'd have to be able to see Islam is not a hostile religion, obviously. So you'd have to be able to have a way of making your point across, since it's very easy for you to be in a large group of people, and then they would assume you're trying to impose your beliefs on them. So you just have to be able to make them understand that this is how I am. This is my own belief. If you respect me, every other thing is your way. You can do what you want. I'd give my skills because that's basically what I was employed for, and then I would just do what I want. But like, alhamdulillah, I think most workplaces now are more like in tune with like beliefs and stuff like that. So like, nobody is actually going to complain the fact that maybe you don't shake, you don't like you cover up. Nobody actually believes, which I feel hopefully, especially we're talking about northern women I feel more have it easier at that point, because like everyone is used to everybody covering. But like mostly I feel maybe our sisters down in the south, where like there's a less population of Muslims, they actually are the ones that struggle more with that. And like, Allah give you strength and just continue what you're doing.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years.
Yes. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay. Disclaimer that I'm going to give you: I'm a lazy person by nature, so I'm going to tell you, in 5 years, I want to be able to afford my laziness. That's just like, okay.
Afford your laziness to what extent?
To what extent? To do what I want. Okay, so you can put it this way. Like, if we're going to like explain it, basically, it's like when you're working, mm-hmm. you have a schedule that is not actually designed by you, mm-hmm. to be specific. Yeah. You have this schedule where everybody expects you to be at work between 9
a certain time, do a certain thing.
Everybody expects you, even if you work remotely, because I mainly work remotely, they still expect you to be able to reply messages as fast as possible, mm-hmm. between that 9 to 5. So it's not something like, sometimes you just want to sleep, you want to have a nap, but you wake up to 1,001 messages and people blaming you for not replying their messages.
Okay.
So being able to afford your laziness means being able to rest wherever you want to rest, and it's not affecting in any way your career, your source of income.
You want to be able to afford your laziness.
Yes.
But to be able to afford that laziness, there are certain blocks that
I know. Of course, it's not something that it will be so good if we could just pray to Allah and we wake up with, I would wake up to 10 million in my account.
So between now and then,
okay,
what's the pattern, or how is it for you in building those blocks?
So what I do mostly is when I have a target, I put them into steps. So right now, my next step is to be able to get my own workspace, like a full functioning workspace with like those fancy Pinterest workspace.
Okay, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
So I'm like saving up. I'm saving up to get my fancy Pinterest workspace. So if you see a picture of my fancy Pinterest workspace,
it's for Khadija.
So you'd have to break it down. It's not something like an end goal is an end goal, but like an end goal has mini goals attached to it.
And I actually am of the belief that there is no end.
There isn't.
There is no end to anything in life. There is no end to it.
Human beings are insatiable.
Yes, like you get to this point and you just realize that. I used to tell myself this, like whenever I'm struggling with something, to say that after this storm, a tornado is on the way. So I tell myself like that, like after this storm, so that when the next one, I know that this one is not the last one. This is not
what is to say that if I'm able to afford my laziness now, I won't want to just not do anything again.
Okay, because there will be
more things. And then the thing is, sometimes you can even set or some things that people will claim as unachievable goals. But the fact that you have something you're looking forward to would help you achieve the tiny goals that are very, very much achievable. There are people that want to have 1 billion in their account. in as much as it's not impossible to get 1 billion in your account, but it's it kind of, especially in the way we're
it's
living.
possible. There's nothing that is
It's impossible. Exactly. But like, you'd have to work to get that 1 billion. So by the time the 1 billion comes, it's like, I know Allah has put me on this path. I have gone through this. And like, I can actually tell people that it's not something that I just woke up and I happen to have.
Sure.
That's just it.
Be doing the this or that question. So Khadija, I have 10 questions for you on this or that. So let's get freaky. So now the first thing is skill or popularity. Which for you?
Ooh, I hate being popular. It's like, I feel it's, I'm a type of person that's like, I have certain periods where like I don't really want to associate with people.
Solo time.
Yes. So if you're popular, you do not have your me time. Everybody wants your attention. So I take the skill and I would work in the background.
Same here. I'll take the skill. Who does fame help? So poor and happy or rich and miserable?
I prefer poor and happy. Poor and happy, because then if you're poor and happy, right, you tend to see the good in everything. You would see the happiness in minute things. I have this weird thing where I always feel this certain form of joy whenever I see, you'd always find like whenever, especially when you're going places and you're traveling around, there's always times when you're passing by like what we consider as slums. So it's like, I always find this joy whenever I see the kids just running around, laughing.
Same here.
No attachments, no pressure. And then sometimes you'd see some people that you feel, you know that it actually gives you this really, this like alhamdulillah moment.
Gratitude.
Because like, you'd be like, these people don't actually earn enough. It didn't, probably they will earn as quarter much of what you do. But
and
like, they're so happy.
Don't have.
They're so happy, you just look at them. So I'd rather be happy and poor. Because if you're rich and miserable, man, no.
Okay, let's go to the next one. So false hope or unnecessary anxiety?
I take the unnecessary anxiety. I hate being disappointed. I despise being disappointed.
I think me, personally, I live in unnecessary anxiety. I'm a kind of person that if I have a task to achieve, I will literally boo myself. I'll not push myself. I tell myself all the stupid things in this world that when someone comes to tell me half of it, I don't even feel it.
Yeah.
So I unnecessarily make myself anxious. So, but false hope, no, I don't need it.
False hope, no.
You like even being a Muslim, like when you check out the categories of what makes someone an hypocrite.
Yes.
So like whenever he says something,
you give people false hope.
Yeah, all those things are about false hope.
It's not.
So
it's not it.
Let's go to the next one. Free travel for 1 year or free meal for 2 years?
I would take the free meal. I would take the free meal. If I may, can I pick my meals?
Let's see. This one is actually hard for me if I was to choose, like, because I want to see the world and I also want to eat good food.
No, I don't really, I'm not a travel person. Like, I like new places, but only if I can disappear and appear there.
Okay.
So no, I'd take the free
meal for 2 years.
Why? Who wouldn't take free meat?
Yeah, and you don't even need to work.
Yes.
If you really just want to eat to live. So let's go to the next one. Talking or listening?
Oh, I like listening. Listening is something that gives you insight in a person. I have this thing where I think it's kind of rude, probably in like African cultures, it's kind of rude, but I like looking people in their eyes. Like, when our parents tell you don't look at me in the eyeball.
And you're looking at them.
I like looking at people. I like looking at people's facial expressions whenever they're talking. It's like something I enjoy. So I will always speak listening over talking.
It makes someone calmer though. Now the next one, looks or personality?
Personality. I used to think I preferred looks, right? But I have liked some questionable people that that I just enjoyed being in the company.
Do you know
of.
whenever you ask girls who are growing up, they have the fantasy of girls, youthful exuberance of girls.
Yeah, it'll always be
The look,
beauty,
like
the
yes,
look.
the beauty. They are infatuated by beautiful men. They like beautiful things. They also keep beauty. Then as you grow older, you then find out that at the end of the day, it's just the way God created the male not to be. Male people, they are not so someone to keep up with appearance, right?
Yes.
There are people to keep up with personality. So as a female, when you end up finding out those ones that are so in tune with their look, you end up finding out that the personality is lost.
Yeah. So there's that sweet spot in between where we just hope we find.
You find the two, right? Okay. Let's go. So now, cake or pie?
Cake. I think I answered that a little bit too fast, but yeah, cake.
Okay, good. So, turn on the light or stay in a dark room?
I really I prefer staying in a dark room. Like I have a weird love for dark mode. So my phone is in dark mode. My laptop is in dark mode. Everything of mine is usually in dark mode. But mostly it also stems from the fact that I don't really like too much light in my eyes.
In your eyes, okay.
So it gives me a little bit of a headache. So I feel comfortable in dimmer lighting.
Spaces.
Yeah.
Okay, money or brains?
See, this is a tough one, but I would pick brain solely because the fact that you having brain can also lead you to have money.
Money, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one would take you both ways,
yes.
and the other one would take you just
one
way.
way, yeah.
So yeah, brains.
I do agree.
Brains.
I do agree. Like wisdom, and I told someone I think quite lately that I'd rather go with wisdom and patience than go with money.
Yes.
Because I just feel it takes a young person to be so patient to understand the wisdom of the old. And if you really want to get something, all you need to do is to submit yourself to serve. And the best people to serve are actually the people that are older. You can serve your mate. How many experiences do they have? Even just losing people. Like, you're 40. If you're 40 or 60 and a person that is 20, I feel there's a big difference. And the difference is loss. When you've gone through so much loss in life, like loss, it teaches you something. Like, know how it just, except you don't want to learn, like it teaches you something. It just,
definitely.
So I rather go with brains than go with money.
Yeah, brains it is.
That was a good one. Okay, so Assalamu alaikum. We are still here, but we are done. So we've come to the end of today's episode with Khadija Ladan. It was really fun and exciting.
Thank you. I had fun too.
And I really pray to have you here again.
Yeah,
so
inshallah.
We could talk about something else, maybe from chemistry to tech, or engineering to tech, or maybe how would we be able to give back, like physical ways.
Giving back is very important.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I am Nansfit Muhammad. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and you can send us topics which you are interested in us talking about. So peace be upon you. Bye-bye.
Ramadan Mubarak.